field now as they will send this one away. On the return now, it's Josh Huff. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. Out of the gun, Savage. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Second down following the incompletion. Miller, the lone setback. Slot man moves right. And they'll give it to him here. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing on the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
On second down, here's Savage. He's going to air one out. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Will Fuller was the intended target, and it brings up fourth down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Pulled in at the 24. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And now the Texas defense, they get ready here. They have to recover a little bit. Last time they couldn't stop the run. They really couldn't stop the pass either.
And it wasn't just physically. It's mentally, because the offense appears to be a step ahead of them. No matter what they call, it's working.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. I'm not sure they could have had a better call there for the defense. Blitz was called, and they're setting up for a draw. When you're blitzing, you're likely to beat them to the punch because they're going to take a little extra time to set up. Talk about the offensive line. In this case, you'll get into the backfield before they can get set up.
On third and long, it's Bortles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Fielded at about the 28. A minute 52 left to play in this second quarter. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. lone setback. On 1st and 10, Savage. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at their own.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So the offensive unit called the TO. And now we are ready to resume play. They'll come out in the pistol. Into the red zone, it's Bortles. Caught out left side by Robinson. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. Bortles going to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. T.J. Yeldon, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's Huff to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. A 1st down throw coming. Savage. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And back to the air. Savage on 2nd down. And incomplete on the deep ball. So ways to go here on 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, it's Savage. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Paul Posluszny. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I mean, exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
It goes as a pickup of 23, and it'll give the Jags a 1st down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And Folk's kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 20. Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. This will be fielded at the 8. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On 2nd and 10, Savage. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Dante Fowler able to drop him for a loss of a couple. 2nd down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see. Savage. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Savage now on 2nd. And this is incomplete. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw, Savage. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Paul Posluszny. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Texans take possession. Here's the Jags defense now as they head back out there. That interception, the last go-around when they were out there, 4 turnovers now for this unit. Pretty impressive.
And how happy are they to actually run back on the field? Most of the time, defenses want to get off the field, but when you picked off 4 passes,
they want to stay out.
They want to stay out there and not just pad their stats, but really give themselves a game to remember and a game to play off of the rest of the season.
And they'll be looking for turnover number 5 now.
That's a bold strike right there, taking it downfield and putting some air on it. But how about the coverage? Able to get his hands across the receiver and bat the ball down.
And it's incomplete. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
From the gun on third, Savage. And that's incomplete.
Holding. Defense.
So the grab there by the defense, the holding penalty call. On 1st and 10, Savage. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And our attention turns now to T.J. Yeldon. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. That's what we call.
And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Whitney merciless. Coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Catch here, left side, Thomas. The good pickup there of 22.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Bortles now on 1st down. Over the middle, open is Thomas. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now Bortles again. And he finds Julius Thomas. The 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Jaguars. Julius Thomas, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jaguars had 6 to their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's...
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, you know, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory. A across the 40. So the offense has it first, and it'll make it a second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the...
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Again throwing. It's Savage. Dumps it complete to Miller. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be second and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again is Savage. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Under pressure, they got him again. Avery Jones. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Yeldon. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. Here's the option going right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Offense working with a 3rd and 13 still left. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
18 yards there and a 1st down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and 10 here.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And Robinson with a big catch. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Really up a 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now T.J. Yeldon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Single.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So now from a defensive perspective, they might still have a pulse.
Yeah, that probably would have sealed their fate, but now they're still within 2 scores.
Savage now setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Savage. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. 3 yards left to grab here on 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
Holding. Defense.
Got a little handsy there, defensive holding, Charles.
And defenders will get away with as much as you will allow. The 5-yard mark tells the officials where the line should be drawn.
Savage on first. And this is going to be incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now it's Savage. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, let's...
And Charles, I think when the schedule...
Just a bunch of poor boys, daddies, girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the muddy boots, stay true to how we're raised. Ain't nothing about us fake. You know we're straight out of that dirty south, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now. Everybody wanna party all night long. Bonfire on the back 40 in the middle of nowhere. Nobody going home tonight till we're straight out of moonlight. Straight out of moonlight. Yeah. Just a